Hello again. One idea which is often referred to indirectly when people are discussing things like Klaus Schwab and the World Economic Forum or the New World Order or whatever is that there exists a plan to reduce the number of people in the world by various sinister means. The people to be done away with are sometimes referred to as being useless eaters, a translation of course from the German Nutzloseresse. The first thing to bear in mind is that this idea that there are too many people alive and that the population must be reduced is at least 200 years old. The first explicit reference to it may be found in Dickens' A Christmas Carol, of all unlikely places. Let me just read you a couple of lines. Scrooge has been visited at his office by some men who are trying to raise money to give poor people a nice dinner at Christmas. He says that poor people should be sent to the workhouse, whereupon one of the men observes, "Many can't go there, and many would rather die." "If they would rather die," said Scrooge, "they'd better do it and decrease the surplus population." And right there we have it. Back in 1843, the surplus population, the useless eaters who are slowing progress down and contributing nothing towards humanity. Of course, Dickens didn't invent the idea of the surplus population. It's taken from Malthus' essay on the principle of population. It is this goal, the reduction of the surplus population, which many believers in the concept of the malevolent machinations of the WEF or the New World Order feel is now being actively pursued. In the Third Reich, no secret was made of the disposal of the Nutzloseresse, whether they were the incurably sick, learning disabled or long-term mentally ill. The T4 programme was designed to eliminate them as they were a drag upon society. This idea links in on the one hand with ideas like chemtrails, that aeroplanes spreading chemicals from the air. Some of these are supposedly designed to prevent women from conceiving. There are those who think that fluoridation of water serves the same purpose. Finding a quick and easy means of sterilising those who should not be allowed to procreate was of course also an aim of the Germans under Hitler. The main method, though, of reducing the surplus population will supposedly be by means of epidemics. Epidemics, specifically, of genetically modified viruses and the vaccines produced for them. It was suggested by the black Muslims at one time that AIDS was just such a virus, which had been specially designed to attack black people and homosexuals. Then too, Ebola virus was also said to have been a planned attack on the African continent to thin out the numbers there. Some of the theories focus on the vaccines, of course, rather than the viruses which are intended to combat and protect us from. In this context, both COVID and the vaccine against it have been mentioned as being tailor-made to rid the world of useless eaters, although I am myself a little sceptical about this. It is fascinating to see how the whole idea of ridding ourselves of the surplus population has travelled down the centuries, beginning with Malthus' essay on the principle of population in 1798, and then through Dickens in the 1840s, and of course being put into practice by the Third Reich when they began disposing of the Nutzloseresse and Untermenschen. And here is that same idea, still going strong today, as the supposed brainchild of Klaus Schwab. It's good really that he's got a German name. He sounds villainous, and it enables people to pretend that he's either a German or a Jew or both. He's neither, of course. He's actually a Swiss Protestant, but we won't let little facts like that get in the way. There must be something very attractive about such a notion for it to have lingered on for centuries in this way.